MGK real spicy with more clips. Don't forget to subscribe and bang on that like button. Now let's get into it.
Hey, but this better be good, god damn it!
Flight and left his wife when she insisted on getting Starbucks at the airport. In a Reddit post, the husband explained that he and his wife are going to visit his 21-year-old daughter who was at college. The couple usually visits her a couple times a semester, but they live on the West Coast and her school is on the East Coast. The husband says that he is very type A, but his wife, who's the daughter's stepmother, is the complete opposite and has a very go-with-the-flow attitude. The couple managed to make the first flight on their journey, but things fell apart when it came to their connecting flight. They got to the terminal and had about 15 minutes before the last leg of their journey. The wife wanted coffee and the husband offered to get it from the market right next to their gate. But she insisted on going to Starbucks, which was on the other side of the airport. He told her that she didn't have enough time, but she didn't care and went anyways. As they were boarding, he called her 4 times to ask where she was, and she finally answered on the 4th call saying that she was on her way to the terminal and that the Starbucks line was long. After the gate attendant said they couldn't hold the flight, the man went and boarded the plane, straight up leaving his wife behind. He told her to buy a ticket for the next flight and that he'd see her when she arrived at the stepdaughter's school. But this wife had nothing to say to her husband. After a week of the silent treatment, she told him that it was wrong for him to have boarded the flight and let her go on a separate flight. But ultimately, the wife is responsible for her own actions and time management. The husband also has a responsibility to be there for his daughter when he says he'll be there. The wife was only thinking about herself in this situation when she made him decide between her and his child when she decided that coffee was more important.
Really, I think she excused herself from the flight. I mean, she ignored him when he was telling her that she was not going to make it, so that's on her. And it looks like she's super immature, right? Like she was competing with him somehow with the daughter. That's what it looks like to me. And I'm sure she had a history of this type of shit, this type of behavior. So he was sick of it. He went ahead and got on the flight, Tyler dealing with her. You know, she probably has a habit of being difficult when she doesn't get her way, even when she knows she's wrong. She kept testing his patience and his boundaries and got burnt. Probably not the last time. Y'all might as well stop with this. They really trying to itemize expenses on these dudes, bro. Like, they some kind of LLC. Say it ain't so, bro. Like, this is crazy. I wish half of these women apply the same type of business acumen to actually run a business, so they don't have to beg like this. Guys have expenses as well, including the date itself. There are mutual risks involved when it comes to expenses and time. Imagine as a guy being billed like a business expense reimbursement, right? Plus she wants the date paid for, chased throughout the courting process, put on a pedestal, all while she just shows up and exists.
You want a man to love you.
Oh, I'm sure there's a lot of women out there that are very interested in that subject.
Stop loving him.
Not starting out well, is it?
Love yourself.
Oops, man, the bitterness just oozes out of women like this.
Now that is at least partially correct, although in the context I'm not sure how valuable of a sentiment that is, but a person should actually love themselves before they attempt to get into any kind of personal relationship.
Get what you can get out of that man. He will give it to you out of guilt for not loving you the way that you deserve to be loved. It is subconscious, it is subliminal.
So deception and emotional manipulation are the name of the game here, huh? Well, that's certainly a way to get someone to love you. Right.
Which is why you see all these men, rich men who've been married many times, millionaires who've been married many times, have no intention on marrying you or have no intention on falling in love with you right away. So they're going to compensate you with money because they can't give you what you want. So they're going to give you the second best thing. Now, some women have said, that's love. I just want money.
And the dry begging has to stop.
It's almost like there's a name for that. Could even be called a profession, the oldest one in the world. A person, in this case a woman, that gives her time and attention just for money.
See, the guilt trips and the gaslighting is to wear a man down, make him think and feel as if he's not up to par, keep him on that treadmill, essentially running him into the ground, literally, sucking him dry, leaving him drained, And no, not in a good way. Nope, not in the way that you would prefer. You know what I'm saying? That's a man's future when he deals with women with this mindset.
I love the way you walk. You look confident.
Thank you.
What number?
My number?
Yes. Coffee?
No, I did not myself.
What do you like? Like Moxie's?
Can you leave, bro?
Yeah, I'll leave. 1 second.
Nah.
Wait, she said.
Yeah, I can see it in a few ways. You could say she was giving mixed signals by standing there and not walking away, demonstrating more of a negative response to him, right? Like she could talk with a more serious tone of rejection. Or you could say her friend was blocking. Maybe he even likes her secretly and he's trying to block. Or maybe he just sees her uncomfortable, right? He could kind of tell these little signs she's giving off, body language, and he just simply wants to help her. But to me, my initial thoughts, if I was the guy trying to talk with her, it would look like he's trying to block. If she really wanted to reject old boy and, you know, she really didn't want him around, she would have talked with a more serious tone or try to put her friend in between her and the guy, right? But she stood there. And I think really her being a little bit uncomfortable is her friend walking up. And I think maybe he has even a history of doing this, being a little bit overprotective. But looks like he got himself in a little friend zone situation to me. Not where you want to be. But, you know, what y'all think, man? Let me know in the comments.